Hey everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is At the Buzzer, and we're joined, as always, by Jack Tiernan. Jack, how you doing?
And I'm good, thanks, man. How are you?
Doing quite well. I guess let's just get into it. The NBA Finals currently, at the time of recording, which is 9:38 on Wednesday, 7:14. It is the Suns winning not only this game, but leading the series 2-1. Jack, what have you seen so far in the finals?
Um, we have seen Giannis Antetokounmpo put a team on his back
Mm-hmm.
to one game that they've won so far.
Yep.
We have seen DeAndre Ayton emerge as a bona fide third star, which I think a couple segments ago I was like, yeah, he's not that third guy. He's close. I'm
Mm-hmm.
wrong. He's good.
He heard you, clearly.
He did. He watched Wicked Good Sports and
Mm-hmm.
he was like, wow, dude, Jack is ripping me apart. I gotta do something here.
Gotta step up. He
Um,
was in the locker room before the game, swatching.
You do it. He was like, he's right, man. I gotta step it up, and he did. He proved me
did.
wrong. So all power to him. I thought he was a sketchy number one overall pick 3 years ago now, or 2 years ago, and he has proved me wrong. He's really showing up in the finals. Not to say CP3 and Devin Booker are not doing their job, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it certainly goes to prove that you really need three guys who can do it. Whereas the Bucks are sitting here with Giannis and sometimes Chris Middleton, and that's really all they have.
Right.
So I think that is probably what we're gonna look at. I think we both said like Suns in 5 or 6, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably what we're gonna end up with.
Yeah, well, they gotta win these two for five, but six seems
Yeah.
potentially doable. So we'll see. I guess on that train of thought, has anyone really surprised you, disappointed you in the finals for either team?
I think what is surprising is given how Giannis has played in the playoffs for the most part, his
Mm-hmm.
performance in Game 3, where he really turned the Jets on and he put up like an insane stat line. I think it was 41 or 42 points. I don't remember which. And 41 and like 13 or something like that. It was
Right.
stupid numbers. I don't have them in front of me. But I think he's proving like, yeah, like I'm still here and I'm still really friggin' good.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think, again, I touched on it before. I think Aiton's play really has kind of elevated a little bit.
Yeah. Right.
He doesn't look as lost out there against these guys, and he's really putting up some sweet rebounding numbers. And that's what he's there for, because you've got Book and CP3 to shoot the lights out and pass, but he really just needs to sit under the rim, kind of do his job out there. And I think he's done a good job. I think lastly, I think you got your guys CP3 and Book, and they're just they're playing. I would say pretty average for like what they're good for. It'd be interesting to see what the box score looks like after this game, though.
Yeah, no doubt. I think if the Suns hang on here in the series and win, what do you think this does for CP3's legacy overall? I know we've had a lot of fun, being like, oh, I hope it happens, but now that it seems like it is right there for
Yeah.
the taking, I just want to get your thoughts on what this means for him. We were talking before the show, about the 2008 USA team, which we'll get to the current team in a moment, but
Yeah. Oh.
he's a part of that. It's been so long. He's been such a good player for so long to finally be at the point where he could win an NBA Finals. What do you think that would mean for his legacy?
No, that's a great question. I was looking through. This is weird, but I was looking through a bunch of old NBA drafts on a flight a couple days ago, and I was just kind of going through the list, and I'm like, man, CP3 was only drafted in 2008, I think it was, or 2007. Well, I can't remember which.
Right,
But
right.
either way, it was relatively recent, I thought, compared to LBJ and Dwayne Wade. So he
Yeah.
still technically has some years in the tank, right? That's
Right.
granted he's no superhuman like LeBron, I guess, right? But I think overall, man, I think you win a ring and suddenly you get a lot more respect. Like you have a bunch of guys out there like Charles Barkley, who haven't won anything, frankly, have gotten really close, but are still regarded as pretty good players. I think once you have a ring in your possession, right, you have that title in hand, you're more respected throughout the league. Like, yeah, you were good, but did you win a title? And if
Yeah.
CP3 wins this, he can say yeah. So I think that does really cement him as one of the better, or I guess you could say, point guard, right? And it does
Right.
cement him as somebody who can do something like that.
No, I agree. I think, like, we looked at someone like Kevin Durant, for instance, like a
Yeah,
player who was amazing, but couldn't win. You know, he kept falling short in the playoffs. He goes to the Warriors. He wins a couple championships. Now it's like, okay, his legacy secured. You know, whatever happens from here on out, he'll go down as one of the
it is.
best like players to ever play. And it really, speaks to how important that ring is. Or
Yeah.
even, for instance, did Carmelo Anthony ever win one? I don't believe so, right?
No, I don't think he
Yeah,
has anything.
so he, speaking of that era of players, he's one of, like, the best players from that era, but he didn't win a ring, so it's going to be interesting to see, like, obviously we grew up watching him, and we know how
Yeah.
talented he was.
Oh God.
But will his legacy, like, carry for, younger fans who didn't get to see him, who, I don't know Charles Barkley as anyone other than the funny guy on TNT. I didn't get to watch him, so I don't have, the necessarily lens to look through what kind of player he was. I wonder if, like, that will be the same for Carmelo Anthony, and maybe that can be avoided for
Right.
baseball here.
That's a good question, or a good point, rather, right? Like, I think, and you go watch Carmelo and KD actually, and they have, I don't want to say similar games because they don't really, but like they're both really prolific offensive guys, right? They're not known for their defense really, especially Carmelo a couple of years back, right? But I think that's a really like good way to look at it. Whereas a ring definitely cements greatness, and there is always like a what if you don't ever get to that point, right? Like
Yeah.
what if Carmelo was in the league for those like 3 years where he was kind of bounced around between like OKC and Houston. I think at one point he was traded to either the Clippers or the Hornets, and they waived him. But like the
Yeah.
team like did this really weird tweet that like had his jersey and was like "Thanks Carmelo," and it was like really strange. I have to
Get on
find
the
that.
floor.
Remind me to find that.
Yeah.
It was really really cringy. But uh, it's stuff like that, man. And of course, we're gonna look at Carmelo because he definitely was one of those upper echelon players. But then you come back to guys like I think right now he and CP3 are kind of in the same category, where like guys who are really good but couldn't quite get their team over the hump. And I think if the Suns win this, I think you can reclassify CP3 as a dude who was able to really just kind of go in and change the culture and change the ability to win for a team.
Yeah, no, especially like when the Suns are just so bad before him. So,
Oh yeah,
I didn't bring up, Carmelo Anthony just to crap on him, but I do recall him saying at one point, like, he's as proud of his gold medals as he would be a championship ring. And that seemed silly at the time, but maybe not so silly anymore because our team USA is not doing that great, Jack, in these exhibition matches. Are they just not trying that
No.
hard, or is this something to worry about?
man, I think that's a good. God, I hope it's not something to worry about, dude. I just like it shouldn't be, right? There, since I saw a stat today that said, I think the Team NBA from 2008 to 2016 was like 54-2, something like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
not surprising.
and now we are 0-2. So it's like, shit, dude. Like, like let's figure it out. Let's get something going here. We have. It's not like we are lacking talent. You look at that roster and you put that in the NBA, and you're like, this is
Oh,
unfair.
right.
Like,
Yeah,
right? Like, it's. I don't see. I think, and I've seen a lot of articles about this. Maybe you've seen this as well. And I don't know if you've watched any like highlights from the games or not. And I've just only seen a little bit of clips here and there. Whereas it's a bunch of dudes who are like basically playing in what the old timers would call it, like a soft NBA, right? Where you go and you fall into a guy and you get the foul, and then you get to go to the line and shoot two. Whereas now it's like you have to actually rely on scoring and passing, and like you can't get away with these like superstar whistles here. You got to actually like shoot the ball and like be a basketball player only, and not like a half actor too. You know, like it's a little scary, I think, but I think these guys definitely have the talent to turn it on. Because if you lose to retirement home Patty Mills in Australia, like I don't see that happening again, frankly.
right. Yeah, that's definitely something we're going to keep an eye on as the Olympics draw nearer. And God, it would just be very disappointing if the
Ugh.
USA didn't win the gold medal in basketball of all things.
It would be
You know,
pathetic. It's like
that would
we're
be
essentially a lock, right?
usually
Every
yeah,
year.
every year.
And
So
right, and you have definitely a better team than like the FIBA team from a couple of
mm,
years back, or last year, or 2 years ago, whatever that was. So like, what's going on here, guys? Come on, figure it out.
oh man, we'll see what happens. But yeah, just very good conversation here. I think once we know who wins the championship, we'll be able to have a deeper dive into the
Yeah,
legacy and all that talk. But because hey, maybe the Bucks turn it around. Maybe they
they
make a
could.
run, and we look foolish for talking up the Sun so much. But
A lot of crap on the Bucks. Yeah,
yep,
I almost said the Buns. The Buns
the
and
Bucks.
the Bucks and the Suns. That's nice.
Yep, we
What a
can
great
bind
team.
them to the buns. Oh man. All right, Jack. Anything else you want to add before we get on out of here?
I think we got to talk about the Giannis and Thanasis stat. I don't know if you've heard this. It was the most points in a finals game scored by two brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis scored 41 and Thanasis scored 0. It was a
Yep.
great time to watch them both play.
Yeah.
Thanasis did not get off the bench, but it was still funny to say they're now record holders. Congrats,
Yeah.
guys! Really happy for you.
It was very
Brutal.
impressive. You know, I appreciate that they made that stat. I don't know if he
Me too.
appreciates that they made that stat, but
I think Giannis might. I don't think
Giannis
Thanasis
probably does. Oh man, we gotta put that in the locker room, right as
Okay.
you're leaving. Give a little hit on it.
Right about the tap. Give it
Yep.
a tap. Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, so that was very good. Maybe tonight he'll actually get in there.
I hope so.
Let's see.
I'll be checking the box score, rooting for you, Thanasis. Let's see it.
Oh man. All right, Jack. Where can they find you online?
Sure thing. Best thing to find me is on Twitter, and that's at Jack_Tiernan. Definitely have some finals takes. Starting to switch into Red Sox season 2, so if you're into baseball, that's coming up. But of course, the finals are huge, and it's fun to shit on people like not Lou Williams, sorry. Like, oh god, Pat Bev. I hate Pat Bev so much. So if you also hate Pat Bev, give me a follow. Definitely have a lot of Pat Bev hate on my page right now.
All right, go check him out there. And yeah, like Jack said, we're at the All-Star break right now in the MLB. Maybe we'll start talking about it on the channel. Who knows? I don't know fuck all about baseball, so I'm gonna need a lot of help for that. I just
I got
learned
you, don't
about oh god, what's his name on the Angels? The pitcher
Okay.
and also hitter. Yeah, he's insane. But hey,
He's unbelievable.
Like, it sucks though that I learned about him through the Stephen A. Smith controversy surrounding him. But that's a topic
Oh
for another
no,
time.
that's
Yeah,
bad.
because I was like, oh, who's this guy? Let me look him up, and I was like, this guy's so good. The hell?
He's unbelievable.
So yeah, if you want ill-informed MLB content, let us know in the comments below. This has been At The Buzzer. That's Jack Tiernan. I'm Brian Marr. You can follow me on Twitter at TheFakeBarnes, BMARR. Jack, did we say your Twitter already?
We sure did.
Okay, I thought we did, but then I was like, what if we didn't?
You're
I'll just
good.
blow by it. All right. So this channel is Wicked Good Sports. The main channel is Wicked Good Everything. Our podcast channel is Better Radio. You can follow us on Twitter at Wicked Good Sport or at WG Everything. Instagram, Wicked Good Everything. Twitch, twitch.tv/Wicked Good Everything. And TikTok, search Wicked Good Everything. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you in the next one.